twos. But if that's your strong point and you're playing against FaZe Keria, feels like it's not a strong point necessarily anymore. Doran has been somewhat of a weak point for T1, maybe exploitable, but even, Doran's starting to get the new kind of nuggery thing where it's like he's got a 0-2 power spike where he pops off in the mid game. And I think something is going to have to change here for BNK Furex if they're going to get the upset win tonight. I mean, it is going to be a really tough ask for them to do it. Raptors' inconsistencies have been a problem. Vikla is back to... It's definitely the year of not Vikla.
Yeah.
And Faker, by the way, crazy form right now. Like, he is... Like, his Akali game, he was, like, limit testing himself the entire time against Perfect's Jace in the side lanes. Very, very fun gameplay to watch. They might need to ban his Akali.
Yeah, his Akali, his Anivia were a couple that were... Actually, he played both of those in their last series. In the win up against KT Rolster. He did a lot of taking very aggressive 1v1s versus Perfects that he did not win, but you could see the angles, and he almost won a lot of them, and the pressure was real, and obviously his Anivia play was great in Game 1 as well for that series. So, yeah, he's on form. It does feel like, everybody on the side of T1 is having good form nowadays, and just as a team, they're really firing on all cylinders. BNK Furex, I feel like just a little bit too much weakness early on in the season and a little bit too much catching up to do. Still a chance that they get right in as the door's about to close if Bro lose and they are able to take the win against T1, but it's not likely.
I think the real difference maker between our top 3 teams right now and the rest of the LCK is how quickly they can move around the map, how quickly and seamlessly they're able to either set up for an objective, punish an objective setup, or make a call to not fight and get map wins. Like, it's the macro, it's the movements. Micro things, like Taeyun is incredibly good at, right? He's a really, really high cap in terms of what he's capable of as an AD carry. Those things are great and can sometimes win you games, but when you're just getting outclassed in what I believe to be like 80% of the LCK's real winning conditions, which is those movements, right? Having the 5 versus the 4 is more important than having, one of those 4 players be incredibly good, is where like T1 is at, because all their players are good and they're at the right place at the right time. And that's why when you come into a series like this, it feels so impossible, right? It feels like that upset is just out of reach. Because T1, even if they fall behind, they're going to find that in. They're going to find that angle. They're going to have that map call. They're going to have that Faker shot call where, they end up giving a dragon and taking the Baron, and suddenly their gold lead explodes, and you're just out of the game. They'll make those decisions so fast, and you cannot hesitate. And if you're making mechanical mistakes in the mid lane matchup and getting Faker ahead on top of it all, or your jungler overextends, bottom lane gets ahead, then you're going to deal with the gold lead and the mechanics and the map, and it's just too much.
Yeah. I think our top teams in the LCK are very good at taking one mistake, not even 2, just like 1, and winning the game off of it, or nearly winning the game off of it. So, got to be very careful in what you do. You have to play really clean League of Legends if you want to hope to take some games off of one of our top 3 teams. Varus and Lucian already going to be taken away. Taeyun has definitely been prioritizing that Lucian pick quite a lot nowadays, as have a lot of our AD carries.
Yeah. The Karma, pretty mandatory, as Faker will not be playing Cassiopeia or Orianna. See if they ban Ashe here, or if they want to ban the Rumble. Ashe Seraphine hasn't been played yet today. Still very powerful, as Keria showcased in that big win earlier this week.
They didn't ban Bard against Keria Wolf.
Yeah, he's like, the thing about Caitlyn Bard for us is it's the Bard part, not the Caitlyn part.
I don't understand. I mean, Taeyun's reaction almost makes me feel like they forgot, because this is not a thing you can do. It's not a winning strategy. I'll tell you that right now. We've figured it out already. You can't do this.
Let's see what AD carry they want to play with it, because Bard's strong pairings are Caitlyn, right? The Ezreal we've seen sometimes, and Jhin, which I guess they are just going to opt into here with the Anivia. Faker's picked up. We mentioned maybe banning that away from him, but I don't think you can afford to ban Anivia in the first 3. Can't afford to ban Caitlyn when you leave Bard either. We'll see how this game does play out, as the Ryze priority is really high this week, and it is going to be in the hands of Vickley here in this matchup. The Anivia is a counter pick and helps set up the Jhin in a lot of ways, so a little bit scary as, oh no. Oh, that was our answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Nico's not in a good spot.
Ezreal Nico really struggled for a while, got like 1 win and then disappeared, and now it's back, unfortunately. What it isn't here today, he was definitely the biggest guy who was against it. Just because, you know, unless the Ezreal is hitting everything, you're not really winning lane, and the Nico doesn't necessarily win against a lot of the other range supports.
Not to mention, I just don't think we're in a meta where Nico Pop Blossom combo setups are how you're playing team fights. It's more about single target CC more often than not, an extra utility that Nico doesn't have. So she doesn't empower your AD carry. She's not an enchanter. She's an engaged support that's also ranged, which helps you in lane, but isn't that powerful right now. So even if you, like, how many games have we seen when Nico gets like a 3-man Pop Blossom and the other team is just like, and now we're out of it and we're going to team fight. It often does not hit prio targets. So see the jungle pool thinned out here in the second ban phase with all the meta picks still available, since we had none of them in the first phase and no jungle priority was shown by other teams. So we end up getting the big 4 out here. Lee Sin kind of in that conversation right now because he is just so strong and being piloted by some of the best Lee Sins in the world, including Owner, but they'll ban it away from him.
LCK junglers are just stupid good at that champion. Like, you could go down the list of pretty much every single jungler. Even, like, Pioshik on DNS, the most losing team. Like, he's also excellent on the pick.
I would go as far as to say that also a lot of LCK top-end support players are really good at Lee Sins. We also do see this occasionally flexed to a great degree.
Or twice.
At least once in the LCK. I think you played it more overseas with like some Senna lanes, but I do remember that, as Wukong will budget a lot of power away from the jungle early here, so this Ezreal Nico lane needs to be a little bit more self-sufficient, as the Rumble will be the choice here for the side of T1. I'll blind this top lane pick, and we'll come with it in the jungle to respond to this Wukong. I don't think it's a Nocturne angle, but you could play it because it really disrupts everything that BNK are trying to do and gives you a little bit more power around your zoning with the Jhin. Yeah. He thinks it's a Nocturne angle.
He likes his Nocturne. I don't actually know if Owner has played Nefiri. Doesn't feel like the greatest Nefiri angle, but if we were going by tier list, she was definitely up there. He's played 1 game to a win. This feels like a Cassante angle. Has been the main response to Rumble nowadays. Yeah. And it's clear.
I don't know how I feel about how it works with this comp. Like, obviously the Ryze does well with the front line. They have a really strong front line Wukong, and the Cassante, it's very robust, the setup. But the Ezreal, I never really think of Ezreal as a hide behind Cassante champion, just because he does damage from so long away, and he does damage very slowly, but it eventually adds up. So I guess it can be fine. It can work really well. T1's front line is pretty weak. Like, they don't really have one, but they have a lot of setup, and the fact that Anivia can wall can kind of be a pseudo front line and help find, identify, catch single targets. The Equalizer, when it gets dropped, one of the things that we don't talk about too often because it's such a weird pairing, we very rarely see Rumble and Anivia in the same game, but when you drop an Equalizer that's well placed, the enemy team's like, well, we'll just walk out of that. The Anivia has something to say about it. Putting the wall down can often just prevent people from getting out of the Equalizer and making it so they either have to walk towards your team and then get killed that way, or continue to be an Equalizer and eat all that damage, and then also...
Dentro y fuera de la pista, parto con ventaja. Con la tarjeta Mastercard de Imagine, sin comisiones, segura y siempre a mi lado. Únete a Imagine, mi banca digital. Más info en imagine.com.
What would you like to taste today?
Every coffee, a new world. Every sip, a new taste. Keep exploring with new virtual Nespresso. What else?
Alrighty. Here we go, game number 1. As once again, we are going to test whether it's okay to leave Carrier's Bard open. And yes, I do understand you don't want to let Faker play Orianna or Cassiopeia. You don't want to let anyone play Cassiopeia right now. Orianna's kind of in that conversation as well. And then Caitlyn has been a more common ban, especially as the second picking team. We saw it in our first series as well. So I understand. I do think the Bard should have been in the Caitlyn spot, though.
I would agree, and that's where most teams put it, especially when you end up with a Ezreal Nico lane. You know, sometimes when I see a ban go through that and a pick goes through, you're like, oh, they've got a creative answer. They did not have a creative answer. I mean, you pointed out, you know, kind of anecdotally looking at the laughs on the players' faces. It might not have been that they were like, oh, we forgot to ban Bard, or oh, this was a mistake.
Could have been about anything.
Might have just
Maybe
been
somebody burped into the mic.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also could have been that they're like laughing about how immediately it was locked in for T1. Like, that's the thing. I bet he's going to play it and lock it in. Like, okay, this is unfortunate, but we made our choice, you know, whatever the case may be. Whereas Faker egging, which is a...
Vic was not... It's not really playing the other side of the Faker egg too well. So now he is going to get it. And owner's bot, by the way. There's going to be the flash out of Kellen. As now Faker going to be forced to flash away. And Vic actually will be able to handle that pretty well.
Yeah, he maybe egged a little too hard. He'll have to flash. That's a little bit annoying. But because it is a Wukong, not necessarily going to be punished for a lack of flash and passive early on in this game. A lot of other jungle matchups, you'd be like, ooh, that Nivea is going to have problems. Not so much here, necessarily. Faker is 6-0. Keria, notice that, by the way, this is T1's last game.
Taeun is really getting in there. That's going to be the flash forced out of Pays, looking for that last Mystic shot. He is going to hit Pays with that one. And now all summoners are gone for the T1 bot lane. Taeun still has barrier. And that is going to be, even with the gank, maybe overextending a little bit, putting them in a rough spot, and T1's bottom lane is behind.
Yeah. I wanted to point that stat out because it's crazy, though, that was shown on the picks there. This is T1's 18th game of regular season. This is their final round 2 game. Karia's first pick of Bard. So going back to your point about most teams.
That is crazy. I
thought he ban it. Like he
got one game.
He played it in LCK Cup a lot, and then teams were like, you know what? That's enough. I don't know. It's funny how perhaps to casual LCK fans, Karia's Bard is, at this point I would say maybe this is not true, but for a while to me, I think for casual LCK fans, I think about Karia's Bard one team fight where he like basically messed up all of T1's combos in that one fight like a year and a half ago or something. Which was very hilarious, and then look at where we are now.
Yeah.
It is just not allowed, although the 2v2 is going really well. I mean, Kellen and Taeun, I consider Kellen to be one of the best range support players that we have in the LCK, despite the fact that his team is currently 6-11.
He's also really good at laning.
Yeah, his laning phases are so rock solid that I'm like, I guess if you just trust, I mean, it could work out, because Taeun's also, his best pick is Ezreal right now, and doing a good job.
Yeah, definitely can't take anything away from this duo. I think it was even more apparent about Kellen once Diablo got traded away, right? Because it was always Diablo and Kellen who were really good as a duo, especially last year. And then Taeun comes in and it kind of remains the same. And you're like, oh, I guess it was Kellen.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be both. But
I think it is both. I think Diablo and Taeun are very similar players in terms of their play style in lane. So I think it worked. It's for Kellen. He's like, I like either of these guys. They're crazy.
Yeah,
they're my, that's my.
Give me the wackos.
He's like, I don't want to lane with like Teddy. And by the way, like, you know who doesn't play like that is like Deft, for example. And Kellen didn't have as much of a good time on that D plus Kia roster.
Raptor's going to get feared up here. He does get over the wall. And it looks like he will be okay, but not the best position. Carrier's like, no, I kill him, actually. I'm not quite going to do so, as Raptor gets away without having to use flash.
His heal, Carria's heal was coming back up in just a few seconds. I was like, is there an angle for him to chase further, but don't commit any deeper there. As, yeah, this lane is just not going well for Pace. He's not having a good time. Like, look at the CS difference. Obviously, there's a huge wave that will be picked up here, but he's got so much control right now. And Faker being flashless doesn't necessarily matter too much, but the prio is in mid. You can see that Vickler is threatening the idea of, like, if you eat another empowered Q from Ezreal, like, I'm realm warping down.
Yeah. This is where Ryze can struggle into Anivia, where it's like, yeah, I can do some nice burst damage into you, especially if, you know, there aren't too many minions in the way before I have my my stuff stacked on them.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's a cool matchup for Anivia because she can match your wave clear, but also she does the burst that you struggle with. So feels really good for Anivia, especially early. But not in this game so far. It's not been able to generate those types of advantages. Faker had the awkward refillable potion back after the flash, and Mikla has just more stats in this one. Has some extra mana. That crystal.
Looks like Doran's doing just fine in top. He was able to get a plate. Owner trying to get level 6 on the wave, and now maybe looking for this. Doran
like,
trying to bait it.
He like stuck his pinky out of the bush and he's like, I'm level 6 now.
His one long claw is just like over the over the giant mountain.
Yeah, no Q3, but I don't think you can dive Exante under turret with ult.
He has flash as well. I mean, this feels very forced. And now, I mean, the Ryze is going to have first move. So, yeah, Raptor also going to be able to hit that. Fun thing about the fear, it goes through the clone as Raptor is going to dodge that stun as well. As in goes Doran looking for the kill, sets it up for Owner. There's the alley-oop. Because maybe Raptor thought he was out, and so did Vikla, but he dies.
I mean, I think this is the kind of shot calling and decisive moment I was talking about for T1 is Doran. See what happens here. I think he's probably just dead.
Yeah, he's taking a decent amount of damage as eventually he will go down. Vikla struggling with just the Swifty boots and a tier.
But when you see the beginning of that play, you know, especially with how Owner was hovering around there, I think a lot of people's initial thoughts are probably like, I don't think T1 can make this happen. Like, I don't think this is actually a fightable situation. And then they just send it so hard. Like, Doran's like, I'm dropping my equalizer. We're actually going to kill him. And there's no hesitation whatsoever. I think BNK are just kind of caught off guard by the Doran flash there, as Owner will have to use his smite to get the first of these. And they're considering a contest with the prio that Faker has right now, but I think they should probably just give these up.
They got the root there on a Tae, and he nearly takes Pace's head off. As there, the curtains will be called. Kellen gonna have to block all of these shots as he moves out of the way at the last moment.
Carry gets 6.
And now Carrier thinking about going in there. He's gonna take a huge amount of damage. Taeyoon goes in and sits him down. Oh man. As even the barrier gonna be used just in case.
My God, that was some razor-thin margins both sides were playing by on that one. That was some good League of Legends right there. I was watching Carria's XP bar because I was like, he's going to hit 6. There's actually definitely an angle, but they had to ult with Paze first to find that angle, so he didn't have the follow-up if he dropped Tempered Fate immediately. And I think he was just relying on his damage there and did not expect them to turn around, as he did not also have enough damage himself. So we're not going to watch the cool Doran flash play. We're going to skip to this one here, as Taeyoon eats a ton of damage and Paze almost dies right to the burst of Kellen and the ult. But then he's like, all right, well, actually, this is our win now. Kellen eats all of these shots. Carrier wants to follow up, but doesn't have his ult in time, as we don't watch what happened, but you guys saw it. He kind of walks forward and Taeyoon says, I kill you.
I think because Owner's bot with ult, but he wasn't bot with ult when we cut to live, so kind of interesting. But they are going to set up a play here, as in they go. Faker also on the roam, coming in from the mid lane as they're going straight over the wall. They take down Taeyoon. Because he did not have any summoners to get out of that one.
And it's, again, I'm going to keep going back to this, but okay, Raptor
is on the way, and now Raptor just kind of going the wrong way, stuck between a rock and a hard place. As Faker and Owner were on the opposite side of him. He had to try to go through the river, and he will die.
These are the decisive moments where T1 have a play set up, they have an idea, they have a concept of it, and Vicla's like, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention Faker's roaming. You know, like that's what it felt like watching this happen, because Vicla's like not in any position. Look at the map here. Okay, we're gonna watch this first.
I guess this is why we cut it short, because we wanted the POV.
He predicts the timing of the magical journey.
Oh.
I thought there was something more coming after that.
It looked like he wanted to say something.
But like, look at Faker wrapping around the left side here, and look at Rise. No ult.
Yeah, how does Anivia get there first?
Like that's not supposed to happen. And the team is pushing up and forcing a fight where Faker he's not in the river, but he's coming down. Like, he's not at home. Maybe Faker did some trickery where he made it look like he was going to back, and they went the long way around in the river or something like that. We don't know because we weren't watching it there. But like, you got to be ready for that.
Two junglers coming in here. Carrier also making his way up. And I think after the beginning of this trade doesn't really go the way of BNK X, meaning Owner shows his face. They're like, actually, never mind. We don't have any control. I mean, look at the bottom river.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of vision. There's the one ward over the wall, and that's it.
I think
the dragon.
Kellen's going to need like 6 charges of sweeper to get that river cleaned up. As this dragon is going to go over here and put us at 1-1. We got Mountain and Ocean, so Hextech a third in a row? Surely not. I'm kind of getting bored of Hextech.
I think it's Chemtech. No.
Oh, come on! Like, I never thought I could be bored of Chemtech or Hextech, but I think I might be as Doran.
I think he gets, nope. The flash comes in, and he is very dead. Nearly trades it onto Raptor, but they do go for a nice little dive there. This does mean that Owner on the bottom side of the map is threatening. Doesn't really have the angle just yet, but certainly trying to find it.
This situation a little bit scary here for Taeyun and Kellen with the play made on the other side of the map. It looks like they are going to be able to fight their way out of this one, push the Nocturne away, and there won't be a Paranoia dive here, so good job from the really important lead here, right, is Taeyun on this roster here for BNK X. And so they are going to be able to turn that into a positive as they get this play here on the top side and deny the cross map. Just a flash forward here from Vikla to get the root and all that extra damage. Clean, really clean dive and setup here for BNK X, and the fact that Taeyun and Kellen are fine on the other side means T1 don't get any cross map, and the gold lead is still there for BNK X. Is
trying to set up here on the Vikla. That is going to be a Paranoia on in. You see the zoning ult literally from Kellen, just trying to save his mid laner as the fourth shot is going to hit onto Kellen. And they've got him kind of up against the ropes here. He doesn't have his flash. That is very unfortunate for him. He was just trying to save his mid laner.
Yeah, and you can see Vikla like started walking back towards T1 because he was like, maybe this will somehow buy time for Kellen to get out, and then Kellen still dies anyways. And it's a cacophony of errors.
Yeah, nobody's bought because he dies, and so Clear has to TP, which leaves Faker alone on the top lane.
It's exactly like what you said earlier, where it's like just one mistake means so much at this level. Like, it's like, oh wait, there's a bar there, oh we can't fight this. And the Pop Blossom, this is what I'm talking about Pop Blossom, by the way, where it's like, okay, well, all right, he spell shielded it, and it's not going to help, and not really feeling like Nico's in a good spot here with how the meta is being played right now, but definitely not in this 2v2 in isolation. Carrier may get punished, but he has Flash and Magical Journey, so.
Ooh, that angle is actually pretty nice. Generally, those Magical Journeys would just get you into the red pit. Vikla is going to get stunned up here. Nice wall on a Raptor. So one of the ways you can keep the Wukong at bay as Doran gets pulled over the wall himself. The knockback comes in, and he is just dead. Clear. Very proficient on the Cassante, able to find a solo kill.
It just was able to somehow get into basically melee range with Doran there and just line up those Qs. And so he's able to now maybe even get the whole turret. I don't know if it had Crystalline Overgrowth on it or not, but that's first brick potentially on the cards here, as there's no other threat for T1 in terms of trading. Faker's going to come over here and clear this wave, and I think he's going to get it. Like, he has 2 grubs, and there's no response. Faker teleported to the top side. Doran just respawned. And so BNK going to get the gold lead back, I think, after this turret goes down. He's actually not committing for some reason. Guess because he just wanted to deny more minions? Weird. That was first break.
I think he wanted to back and take the gates up, but it's a bit late. As we have Paranoia, and Owner actually is going to take it in. As the spell shield not going to help him this time. They're looking for the turn as the shield on Owner keeps him alive for just a little bit more. And the Cassante is getting some work done here. Raptor will survive and clears eventual roam up to the top side. Does amount to something.
I mean, you know what? I was unfamiliar with your late join of the team fight, Clear.
Owner could have just taken the magical journey. They didn't have to fight that at all. As now, Carey is going to set up another nice play here on Avikla, who really is not enjoying the Bard in this game.
No, I don't think anyone really is. I mean, Vikla is the one who dies here. I guess it was really Kellen and Taeyeon who were enjoying it, kind of. And you can finish him off, ults him. I would be really curious to see it. He says, I got him. I'd be really curious to see what he says about his call to join the fight. But we won't get that one because nobody dies. As yeah, Owner, he really did send it. I mean, he had a lot of resources, including that shield coming through. So I guess T1 just really thought they had enough. But once he dies, Doran is also kind of priced in. As yeah, it's Bard. Harry he's good at it. He's gonna hit you. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
No. No. They did, in fact, we didn't show it, get the bottom turret, and so got first brick.
Yeah.
It's a pretty close game, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of dragons haven't taken one apiece. And now the Hextech Dragon going to be started up here by T1. The Raptor is in position to potentially go for this, as is Fake Raptor, a.k.a. Kellen. As that's the wall on the real Raptor. And Raptor does get zoned away. And it's just a free Hextech over to T1. You do see the TP coming in, and it's just a little bit too late.
Boring dragon. Hextech, boring.
That's my LCK.
No fight on the dragon, boring.
Clear's like, well, I gotta get something out of this TP that I used. So
walk
let's
away.
Get a plate.
Boring.
Norn says, I'll take the turret.
Yeah, this didn't really work out for BNK. They really wanted to force something, but the timing is just... It's these small things, right, that can cost you big. As now there's a Cassante without teleport. I mean, he did his job bottom side, right, got the kill. The gold situation is so lopsided as Doran... Yeah, he's
in a rough spot. He is going to elect a flash, but that just means he trades with Raptor, and now Owner flashes to the journey, makes it over the wall.
I am starting to wonder. I mean, this game is so weird because I was going to say it before Doran died, but he's continuing to be part of the problem. He's 1-5 in this game, so like this Cassante's lead is what nullifies Owner's lead, right, in terms of the money, and then you've got like Faker and Taeyeon balancing each other out, which is why the gold lead has just been like so dead even. And so the question becomes like, who do you favor? Who has the gold in this game? The Rumble being behind definitely doesn't feel great, but he still will be able to, from far away, drop equalizers and help his team out. The Cassante being very far ahead means that, especially with this itemization, that he can just keep bullying the Rumble, but I don't necessarily know what else it means for this comp unless Diablo can pop, or sorry, Taeyeon, wow.
That's a throwback.
Fast. Unless Henna can pop off. Unless Envy's got like...
Oh, no.
But yeah, no. I wonder if they can get it done in team fights. Because, like, every map movement, every proper fight, with the exception of Owner going in a bit too deep there earlier on, has been T1's. But the random overextension kills have been B&K's, right? So... You know, we've been talking about T1's confidence and the ability to make decisions quickly. Some of those decisions have backfired in this game, and so suddenly feels like it could be a winnable game. You talked about our disclaimer in our first series. I feel like there's definitely a shorter one for B&K having leads, and it's not a huge lead either, but feels like there is hope here as Clear.
Yeah, they're going to find Clear. He is very tanky, especially against magic damage, but he is so alone that it just doesn't matter. Doran is going to TP into literally everyone, but maybe it was a bait. I don't know. It's going to work like a bait, as now we do not have the binding actually hit. Keria goes over the wall, and they're going to get this root down onto Taeyun. Maybe a bit of damage does come through, but the Arcane Shift is there to get him to safety, as the Rift Herald just hanging out the whole time.
Yeah, Pays is going to help take out this turret.
Here goes Keria. He's trying to zone away Raptor from smiting it out. It's going to stop some backs, too.
Pays does have his ultimate, right?
Yes.
Like, I thought there were, like, about 7 times where he could have ulted to try to catch those low-health members.
Did he not have mana or something?
Yeah, that was weird. I want to watch that again. As we're going to go all the way back to this catch on the Clear. You mentioned the magic resistance that he has actually feels really good because you're also playing into a Jhin. So there just isn't that many ways to kill you. But when you're 1v4, it's a little bit different. As Doran, we'll just ignore that part.
It was a bait.
Zoning
TP.
Kind of works, right? The Herald dropped in the river, so it takes a really long time. With Barrier here, Taeyun is able to survive. And I just thought, like, Pays should be ulting there. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like there was a pretty strong angle to get a serious amount of damage done, but he decided that he didn't agree.
Maybe it was, like, very close to being off cooldown, and then, oh, okay, so apparently Jhin didn't have mana after the Q into the minions, but he could have used it before the Q into the minions. Okay. As maybe he thought he had enough mana, so he dropped the Q kind of instinctually, and then it was like, oh.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Can't. Ult.
It looked like he had enough to me, like, just from looking at the tiny bar, but I guess he didn't. So that's good to know. Good update from whoever gave that update. Thank you.
Thank you, production. Looks like Yundo.
Yundo's on point today. He's always on point, but, like, specifically
is he online,
right now.
though?
No.
Oh. He's not from the northeast of America, then.
I mean, I guess he is online. Like, he just gave us the update through the internet.
True. Not on LAN.
He lived in North Carolina. He wanted us to know. That's why he's not.
Does that count as the northeast?
No.
No.
That's southeast. Southeast! Come on about us! That's what happens when
my point stands.
We have 2 Americans on the cast who don't know directions.
I only know Baron direction and Dragon direction. That's all I know. That's all my brain has been filled with for the last 15 years.
Is the Dragon Pit in the northeast?
That's a good question. Is it in the east or is it the southeast? It's another.
It's much closer to North Carolina about it.
All right, well, we got Clear tanking up in the front line, actually, this time doing a good job, as when he's got some backup, he will be okay. They're trying to go in onto Vikla, and honestly, I think even with that shield, they might have the damage. Vikla trying to turn in an equalizer just for good measure. Taeyun trying to peel for his rise, but Vikla has just been taking a beating in this one. This time, Pays has mana, as the Bard ult's going to be dodged by everybody, and BNK Fearx do get away, but they got the Dragon.
I think Clear actually got his unstoppable to push him through that, which was pretty cool to see. Only the Rise dies. So BNK are in a position here where they have, it looks like they have firm control over the Dragon with this Cassante. The wall doesn't really help out T1, but then they decide, okay, well, we're killing Vikla. And Vikla almost gets away, but this equalizer placement is so good here for Doran. He doesn't need to look for a big wombo equalizer where it's like, I'm hitting everybody, the wall is good, I got a 4-man. He's like, no, I'm just going to kill one. This time, Pace has enough mana to ult, but just does not have the ability to hit those prior targets. If that Bard ultimate was a little bit better placed or was able to hit some of those targets there, maybe T1 could have actually looked for a longer fight follow-up there, but everybody gets out. T1 with a 1.3 thousand gold lead, which feels like it's fake low because the Cassante is 1.2 ahead. Like, I think T1 are in a much better position that gold shows because this Anivia is such a huge threat. And as we saw from Doran in that last fight, being 1.2k behind doesn't necessarily hurt his chances of making a big impact in this game.
Yeah, Rumble just going to do Rumble things. He's got his Bloodletter's cursed. He's just going to be sitting back, throwing some equalizer. And he's not taking over the game, but still does damage.
I think in this game state, I don't think that the Cassante does Cassante things necessarily for the Rise that's behind. You know, if the Rise was ahead also, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, this is going to be huge that Cleared's this massive, because he could just stand near Vikla, and Vikla could do tons of damage, but it's not really quite there yet. It will eventually be, though, and if the K'Sante continues to be ahead, and maybe we get to, like, the Soul fight, that could be massive, as we're looking for Soul Point in 3 minutes' time. I think this game is more playable for B&K than I had the expectation myself personally that we'd have in any of these games today. And, like, that's refreshing. It's looking good.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where they made some mistakes, and we were saying, oh, this is the moment where, you know, one of our top teams in T1 is just going to run away with the game, and they got some nice little advantages, but I feel like B&K FuryX specifically did a good job of stemming the bleeding very early on before it got too out of hand. Speaking of which, Doran kind of in a rough spot here. Clear's not going to go all in on that, or all out in this case.
Or online.
He's literally online right now, Wolf. They're playing League of Legends.
Well, I mean, I think we're on a LAN setup here, though.
Yeah, well, true. They're going in on a Tay, and there's the flash, but he doesn't have Arcane Shift anymore. He's going to get it back, but now he's going to go golden thanks to Keria as the stun and the damage is there. The last shot comes in from Pays, and with Taeyun out, they just don't have any damage. I mean, Clear can be as tanky as he wants, but they're all just caught in their own jungle. And you can see Raptor and Clear are just running away, and Faker's just pushing mid.
Yeah, Faker's like, this is all we can get. I'm just going to push. I don't think they should push any more than this, because it's just diminishing returns, kind of a waste of time. Getting the jungle, though, and getting vision set there like they were doing instead is better. Pays is like, forget your diminishing returns. I'm going to hit that plate. And then he went up and hit that plate, actually, and got money. So he's like, listen, Wolf, there's some more money to be had. This situation was a little bit weird, right? Like, I thought initially they're kind of reaching here, because it's Ezreal who has flash, so he can get over the wall. He gets away, technically, right? But boom, eventually the timing is good here for Pays. And T1 just unrelenting. Like, they just keep pushing in. Like, well, you guys might escape, but I'm probably going to take a few of you down with on the way. And so, I mean, I guess Faker, he's like so 5D chess that he's like, I'm going to put this Anivia wall on an Ezreal with flash, and we're going to actually get sick value in this long fight, because we have a Nocturne and a Rumble, and, like, I think Taylor was in the right to think he was pretty safe there, but I guess not.
Yeah, they're going in onto the Nico. Actually, his owner maybe not expecting that. He is immediately going to go down, and now Doran looks to follow up in going down. He is going to flash away, though. Does survive for now. Big stun on a 2 here from Faker, who's really just trying to control the whole pace of this game. As a couple of clones come through with the Nico and the Wukong, Keria decides, I'm going to try to make a super play, and just goes in and dies. As now Vikla's got the angle here on a Pays, as he should fall. And Faker very much left by his lonesome. Might be able to take out Vikla, though, as there he does. Taeyun goes in. Still a shield available for Faker. Lands another stun as the Q misses. And eventually, Kellen has to finish off the job, make it go into the egg, and now they will take down Faker.
Yeah. Let's see the beginning of this one, because did not look very solid on either side at the beginning of this fight, right? As Owner goes in without much follow-up. The equalizer is used super early. It hits that MR K'Sante, right, that we've been talking about. Clears able to get away. The Faker's like, don't stand on my top laner, and he puts the kind of zoning ult there. Then he puts the second one up here. They all kind of get away. And now it's like, for Pays, there's a lot of low-health members here, but Clear, for example, is still pretty tanky. And Keria's attempt here, I think, doesn't really make sense. If he just kind of helps peel and back off the rest of his team, I think this could have gone way better for T1. Instead, Faker's only able to get Vikla. But a bit of a disjointed engage, I would say, is really the main problem here for T1. Yeah. Eventually, he goes down. Doran pushed the mid wave. The team fight is over!
Yeah. Maybe a little bit too much TikTok highlight farming from Keria. It's like, we know you're really good. You don't have to do that. We've seen other highlights just naturally come up, you know?
I think there's like a lot of ways to look at how Keria has carried himself, like in some of these moments, right? Like his being really upset about the assist moment was quite funny. And I think in some ways, like, especially when you look at like how he played that Seraphine ult and how he tried to play here, you might be like, well, I think he's just trying to get clips. I think he's just trying to aura farm. I don't think he should be playing like that. I think when you've been the best support player in the LCK, and by most people's assumptions, like the best support player in the world, and have been even in conversation with greatest support of all time with former T1 SK Telecom Wolf, like, you kind of like gotta keep pushing your limits, right? Like at some point you have to be like, I'm gonna try this crazy thing every time, because like, where is the ceiling? I respect it.
Well, if you keep trying it, maybe you get more consistent at it. The definition of limit testing, I guess, is T1 are trying to get in here, but Clear is going to have another thought about that. He's going to catch Faker immediately, pulls him very deep into the jungle, and immediately takes him out. And as we talked about, Faker's the main carry of T1 right now, and Clear says, I am the carry of this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, this Baron is going to get delayed here by Keria. Maybe they look for an owner steal.
Yeah, I mean, owner, he kind of ran out of vision. Now he has to go in onto Clear. Clear getting pretty low, though, as Clear will fall. And now it just kind of comes down to a flip, but they're not DPSing it. Got very close to being a flip as Pays going to find himself face-to-face with a Nico. Down he does go. Doran says, I'm killing the bot lane turret, guys.
This is starting to get a little bit concerning for T1. You know, sometimes the happy game is a true happy game, because I wouldn't call this that, where it's a weird draft and there's some funny decisions made. Not quite able to get the root to stop the TP here. That would have also been massive. And then sometimes there's games where, you know, you've limit tested, you're trying some things. Like in this case, just they're not fully set up. They don't have Doran, and they're trying to contest this Baron. It's a great Baron call from BNK. Like, absolutely safe, as Doran is just not able to get here, and if he had TP'd in, it would have been super risky. And then they're trying to make this play. Keria's trying to get into setup vision. And then they're just like, I'm not going to hit the Baron. And Clear dies because of it, but it's the right call. And they secure the Baron. FaZe tries so hard. And it's like, you know, we've seen so many Gumayushi steals on Barons across his time on T1. You see FaZe is like on the edge of maybe getting one there. It's just because this is how T1 play. They play on the edge. That's why the Circus moniker continues to follow them. But right now, BNK have a lead. In this game, the Rise doesn't have Actualizer because he itemized more defensively here against the low damage, which I actually kind of like. It really is, in a niche situation, very strong in this game in particular because Doran's so far behind. And
also, he kept dying, so...
Yeah, well, that's
like he's evolving, right?
He's like, I don't want to die now anymore.
I'm evolving to not die further. I must extend the species of Rise in this specific game.
Need more bald blue men in the future of League of Legends.
And, you know, he will be able to get away a little bit more with a belt and with an arm guard. And with other assorted clothing.
I kind of feel like with how T1's comp plays, like, now your two carries you're trying to dive have a Zhonya's or an arm guard, and also it's Ezreal, who has Flash and Arcane Shift, so it's really difficult to play out for T1 now because your primary targets are so difficult to kill, and then the rest of the targets are a Wukong, who has Cyclone, and a Cassante that itemized correctly and has Jackstraws now, and it's very difficult to kill. So, like, it's hard to make the right move. They're going to try here, though.
I don't know. I mean, Faker's very behind enemy lines, but they know where they're going, and they find Taeyun just somehow bending the rules to get the Ezreal. Although we'll see how this fight is going to go as it's very broken up. Kellen's getting low, but Raptor is able to get that kill onto the Jhin. As now Doran all by himself, essentially, trying to burn down Raptor over the wall. But Keria, this time, he will try to peel for the team. And with Faker alive and the walls available, Clear, though, able to dodge over that one, as this time T1 will win the fight.
It's a 7 elemental Drake game, it looks like. Here as T1 will get the 6th. The Sextech Soul is so valuable. This is one of those calls where it feels like Faker is like, don't press Paranoia till I'm in the air. You know what I mean? Like he's like when I'm halfway there, I need you to ult, and then it's gonna line up with when I show up here, drop the equalizer. It's these moments, man, with this team where you're like, okay, this is insane. Like they're actually gonna Anivia flank, and it's gonna look good. As you know, obviously the fight gets a little bit broken up, pace is a little bit too deep here. Good punish from BNK in this incredibly close game, but then the Rise is just isolated on the backside of the fight because the fight got so split up. B&K trying to run back towards their base. Somebody's going to get left behind. Clear is able to use the dash here to Kellen to get away. This could have been worse. But T1 get a win, get the Dragon. And this game is as close as it gets, really, at this point. It's pretty insane.
Not sure about this one, Raptor. Just trying to get in onto that rotund hitbox, and he will find out that it is not working as well for him as it does for Nautilus. As now, Carrier trying to get in there with the flash, going to get the slow at least, and now Taeyoon gets locked up. And that might be the end of this one. T1, once again, just kind of bend the rules and mind control Raptor into going in onto Carrier.
Guess we're not going to have that 7th elemental Drake, Valdez. This is going to be a dead Wukong and a dead B&K Fear-X as a TP. But the miraculous defense attempt, they got Rise Wave Clear. Let's see how good it is. There's no Baron here, so maybe.
Clear is very tanky. I mean, he's sitting in the Anivia.
Actually,
ult.
with the Rise Wave Clear, I guess they defend for another wave. And that means Taeyoon's up in 20. He's got True Shot. I think T1, it's now or never. If they're going to stay, they're staying.
Clear trying to get in there, trying to peel, but they just go immediately onto Viklas. The timing on the stun not there. But Clear, literally 1v5, trying to make it happen. Is not quite able to. Kellen comes up. Raptor does come up as well. And, I mean, they're still sticking around. Raptor immediately goes in, just gets feared as he's trying to cycle and trying to clear the wave. Kellen, with the follow-up, gets the root on the page.
They're trying to focus the Nexus with Owner. It's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen this time around. T1, they stick around for too long.
Okay, circus time again here for T1. As I think that there were just too many reasons why ending was not likely there, as we're going to go all the way back to why they were able to potentially do it in the first place, as T1 are grouped around this Baron pit. Raptors trying to clear vision, get some information, there dies, Equalizer slows, and then Taeyoon is dead, and they're like, okay, that's it, that's the game. And I thought so too. I thought, okay, well, I mean, with these members dead, it's not possible, but Clear is so huge as Jack shows is running. It's so difficult to kill him, and Vikla also is Rise. So they're like, wait for the wave. If we clear this, then we can actually potentially defend. They go in. Faker has his passive. So he's like, I think we win this no matter what. We just got to focus them down. And then the respawn.
B&K Fear-X are pushing the mid lane right now.
Yeah.
And 7 seconds on the death timers. They might just have enough time. Carrier trying to clear the wave, but the turrets are already down. Paranoia used, and they will clear them off of the Nexus easily. Not even close for B&K Fear-X as one throw into another. But T1, I think, will get the last laugh.
This is too much, Valdez.
There he goes.
Faker POM.
Oh, well, Clear is, yeah, he's dead. And Faker says, we like to make things interesting for our fans, and the fans are loving it.
I don't know what to say, but this game was on a knife's edge for a lot of it, and it ends like this. All right, a bird hits the Nexus, and a man drinks his coffee. I think that the call to